Okay, this meeting is being called to order. Board of Selectmen meeting, September 8th, 8 a.m. in the Town Hall Meeting Room. The reason that we are having this supplemental meeting is because originally we were supposed to have the police interviews. With Chief is on the agenda, he will explain why we have had to have that change. We are continuing with the meeting because we had put something on the agenda with regards to, where's Diane? With regards to our accounting task for the CPC funding verification, and that needs to be done by the 15th, and that's why we're meeting today. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. According to Mass General Law 30A, Section 20E, I ask, is anybody else recording this meeting other than LCAT and the Board of Selectmen? Please identify yourself, please. And who are you representing? Thank you. Okay, our first appointment is Chief Doug Mallis. Welcome, Chief. Okay. First, the update about the interviews, what happened.
Yes, I had a follow-up phone call with Civil Service, and I was informed that the process that I wanted to put in place to have these interviews, to make these promotions to sergeant, couldn't be done until there was an opening, at least 30 days previous to the opening.
Oh, okay. So
we have an opening that wouldn't be occurring, the first one wouldn't be occurring until December 20th or 21st.
Okay.
So I would ask the board, and I'll be in touch with Nick if we can set an agenda to schedule these interviews. One interview anyways.
Yeah, about mid-November?
Mid-November, after November 20th.
After November 20th. Okay.
That would still give us time to get that candidate, whoever selected, into that sergeant school.
Okay.
Prior to his assuming his position as a supervisor.
That sounds great.
So.
Okay, everybody okay with that? All right, and then the next thing is to talk about your wonderful opportunity. Should I give some history, or you want to toot your own horn?
I mean, I'll just talk about it. Originally, when I was hired by previous boards of selectmen, my instructions had been to become active in the various police organizations and groups throughout the Commonwealth. I've been involved, and it's a 5-year process. I started off as a sergeant-at-arms for the Mass Chiefs of Police Association, and in this December I'll be elected or appointed as the president of that association. It's an association of 380 some odd police chiefs throughout the Commonwealth. Wow. I look at it as a feather in a cap for the town of East Long Meadow to have a representation and to lead this group in legislative issues and concerns for police officers throughout the Commonwealth.
Okay. All right. That's a wonderful opportunity for our town. I know that does involve you being away a little bit, but the information that you're going to receive and the benefits for the town, you'll just make sure that perhaps you can do maybe a workshop or something with the men or the people that are under you.
Yes.
Okay. Any questions?
Now, how many hours will you be doing that?
It could vary. I mean, a lot now with technology, it can be a phone call. So it's not really that you're driving down to Boston. There may be appointments or interviews I may be involved in down the other end of the state at the State House for a legislative hearing and the like, but a lot of those are done by the executive director and other support staff and leaders from that end of the state. So it's not like a 2-hour ride to go down there. Actually, it's an hour ride, but it's another hour sitting in traffic to try to get there. So, and those they're infrequent. I don't have, it depends on when the legislature is sitting, when those events may be happening.
When you're gone, who covers you?
Generally the supervisor, the sergeant.
Okay.
On duty.
And some of the hours also could be made up at other times, too?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions, Ms. Federici? Because this was already approved by a past board, I would recommend that it continue since it's been a 5-year investment, correct?
Yes.
Okay. and it does weather our town well to have representation on the state. I don't know if we need to take a vote on it, but we could take a vote of confidence to have it continue. So I'll entertain a motion, not that we have to, but entertain a motion that you continue on your course and accept the position of being president of the,
Massachusetts Chiefs of Police Association.
is there a second?
Second.
Is-
Do we move it?
Will you move it?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Obviously not. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thanks. Thanks, Jim. Thank you, Paul. Take care.
Okay, next on our appointment is Diane Bishop. She's gonna come and explain to us that wonderful form of the CPC funding verification. Thank you. I slide all over this chair. Okay, we got this form kind of late, and so, you didn't have a opportunity to get on the agenda it was quite a long agenda for our last meeting. So, the beautiful thing about it is that this meeting was already set up, so we were able to give you some time on this. So what exactly is happening with this form?
Well, this is a report that is put together by the town accountant
Okay.
and the Board of Assessors.
Okay.
By getting this form in by September 15th, we can get state funding.
Okay.
We're projecting approximately $111,000 to be funded to our CPA account,
Okay.
and that's why it was very important to get this in as quickly as we can.
Okay.
Every time that we send out a warrant to the collector to collect real estate taxes, CPA is community preservation surcharge is
Okay.
part of that. And we had 3 warrants,
Okay.
which makes up the very first line of the total surcharge.
Okay.
I believe I gave a copy of each one of the warrants for you to be able to review.
Okay.
Whenever there is an abatement or an exemption on any property,
Mhm.
we have to reduce the CPA surcharge
Okay.
because it's based on tax.
All right.
And if we've had any appellate tax board cases, or we were able to settle cases before it got to the appellate tax board, which is where someone would have the right to appeal if they didn't feel the assessor's decision was what they had hoped.
Mhm.
So we did have a couple of prior years, one from 2011 and 2 from 2013, I believe, and that's what made up the third number. So the net
Okay.
surcharge raised for this fiscal year 2014 was $233,948 and 87 cents.
You got 233, 13?
$233,948.
That's
You might be looking at.
That's 13, that's 2013.
Thank you, because I was like, I know I'm seeing 1-3 here.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I think I was asked to provide to show you how it was done last year.
Okay.
And that may also be a last year's.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, and that's this year's.
So I was wondering, how did it stay the same? Okay, great. I got it now.
And what does have to happen is we do need the town accountant or whoever is filling in for the town accountant to be able to sign off on this for us to put it into Gateway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm unsure of who in your department, or maybe if there's someone in the accounting department that can go into our Gateway system
Mm-hmm.
to approve it once the Board of Selectmen has approved it on behalf of the accounting. If not, if one of the board would like to sit with me, I could, if you give me authorization,
Mhm.
I could certainly sign it off on it,
Mhm.
stating that we have, that I'm submitting it on behalf of the Board of Selectmen with your
Mhm.
signatures on file.
Okay, open for discussion?
Well, that's fine with me, I mean, as far as doing it that way, I don't know.
I think
If-
if it's a Board of Selectmen that's gonna sit there, it should be you, because you're,
I knew you were gonna say that.
well, it's your forte, Paul.
Yeah, okay.
So, I'm comfortable with it. I have to ask Billy if he's comfortable with it too. Okay, Selectman Gorman is in agreement with
Okay.
me. So,
we can
Because-
talk about when we want to do this.
Yep.
Sooner the better, I assume.
Oh, yes.
Because I don't,
No,
I'm
wait a
not
week.
sure if, I don't know if Olga would be able to sign off on that.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know how far.
What are the
her-
it's supposed to be the accountant. She's
Correct.
close, but she's not the
Yes.
accountant.
The thing is they have to be set up in the gateway system.
Okay, I think I would be more comfortable with Paul doing that, Selectman Federici. Do we have to, so I'll entertain a motion for Selectman Federici to sit with Diane Bishop to sign off on the community preservation surcharge report and complete any tasks that need to be performed to have this approved so that we can get our funding.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Generally, the board would sign it in case if I do have to
Mhm.
fax it
Mhm.
into DOR. And because they don't have, when you work with the gateway system, you
Mhm.
can see all the lines to be
Mhm.
signing off. But if you just print it without having any signatures on, you don't see any lines. So
Okay.
if the board feels comfortable, this is what I have done for the Board of Assessors, and they have just signed off.
Sure, so you would like us to sign that same form?
You could sign the same form, or you could sign yours, we'll just keep them all
Okay,
together.
that's fine.
And you
Okay.
can get this back to me possibly when you
Yep.
get together with me?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Sound good?
Mhm.
All right.
So we'll obviously have to sign that today.
Yeah, do you want to just pass this? But this one has that stuff on it. So
Yeah.
do you have a clean copy?
If you would like, I'd be happy to give you the one that the Board of Assessors have already signed, and we can have it all on one paper.
Sound good to you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Call it, it would take a matter of 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
You want to do it when I leave here?
That would be wonderful.
Okay, I'll stop by.
Excellent.
One of the benefits of having an early meeting.
Mhm.
Okay, all right, so the next step is?
Just having Paul stop by, and then it will get sent in as part of our disbursements from the state, our local receipts. It'll just get sent right on in, and Olga
Okay.
and the accounting department, along with Tom Florence, will be aware that this funding has come in.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Diane.
Have a great day. Okey-doke. Thank you.
Okay. All right, now, that was the meat of the meeting. Point of clarification. At our last meeting, there was a motion that appears to have been out of order. I just need to ask Selectman Gorman, when you moved the motion that the gentleman had made, what were you moving? Because in reviewing the tape with my attorney, I realized there was a couple of things that didn't go as smooth as I wanted to. So I want to make sure, clarify your motion so that we can just put it right on for us. And I apologize for that. That's a reminder.
Well, he made the motion.
Okay.
Fella did.
All right,
And
But-
wanted me to make a motion.
right. And what were you seconding? What were you
I didn't
moving?
second nothing.
What were you moving?
No, there was a motion made, because you made a motion, I seconded it, but I'm trying to
Right.
think of how it was worded.
Well, see, what had
Is it-
happened was he made a motion, asked for a move of a motion for two things, I believe it to say. One was for the resignation, and the second was for the report. Then it was moved,
And I-
and then you amended it, and
Yeah, I just said for the report.
for the report, right. And so what happens is when you amend something, it has to go back, so the whole thing is out of wash. So I just want to correct it so that we can move forward. So I'm just making sure, were you just asking for the report to be moved, or, because the other thing, he can't ask for that. because no person can remove a person from the board.
Right.
So, were you just doing the report?
Right.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we go forward with the report. And you're gonna move it?
Yeah.
Okay, and second, all in favor?
Aye.
So that's been cleared up, so just in case anybody had any questions on that.
I have a question on that.
Sure.
There's no timetable for that report?
No, there was not. And we're gonna look,
There could be never a
Well,
report made.
well, I'll try to do it as soon as possible. I
Well,
mean,
I'm
that's.
just asking the question.
No, and I understand. Unfortunately, I don't have an answer for that question. It just came up, and we just really haven't had a chance to really discuss it. But certainly, it shouldn't take long,
Okay.
okay? Not at all. And at our next meeting, I certainly can, we can certainly give a timetable as to when that would be completed, if not, if it hasn't been completed already.
And if I might add, obviously, Rocco, we're working without a town accountant right now, so it's a little added burden on the people that are taking his place. Just,
Okay.
Okay? And I'd be surprised if there is any additional expense, to be quite honest with you. Because what we get paid to meet is like pennies, so that's the only thing that, we had a couple extra meetings because of that, and that's it.
Can I ask one other question?
Okay, Rocco.
Why do we have meetings at 8:00 in the morning?
Oh, right. This is a supplemental meeting. We originally, I said it at the beginning of the meeting, maybe you weren't here. We have regularly 2 meetings, and we usually have them in the evening. But what had happened was we thought we needed to do interviews and trying to get it done by the 15th. So we said we would have an additional meeting this morning, and so that we could do the interviews, and also so that we could do the certified, preservation. Is it preservation?
community preservation.
Community preservation fund verification, which had to be done by the 15th. So this is a supplemental meeting, and I made sure that the information that's on this agenda is pretty much stuff that has been brought up at other meetings, nothing new, and nothing that wouldn't be repeated at our next meeting. So there's not going to be any decisions made that are earth-shattering at this meeting. It's just more so for informational and making sure that we got that verification off on a timely fashion so that we can get our refunds back, get our money back to the town. We didn't want to hold that up, and we didn't want to miss that deadline.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure. Okay, and I have heard about that before too, because people want to come to the meetings, and the availability is usually in the evening. But sometimes we'll have a morning supplemental, and some people can make that too. And because we all work at different times now, so
Okay.
Okay, and some of our board members had other things that they needed to do, and we wanted to make sure that we were all able to meet together and not have one here and not have the other. So that's why it's at 8:00 on a Monday. Phew, okay. The special town meeting warrants, they're due on the 15th. On Monday, the 15th, and so this is like a reminder for folks to know that if you want to do it, get it in by the 15th, because our next meeting will be after the 15th. Okay, and if you want to give any more on that, Nick?
Well, item A is just for Board of Selectmen warrant articles, and I believe in conversations with Selectman Gorman, he has been thinking about proposing a couple of articles.
Mhm.
And, if there are other board members, just an opportunity to talk about what the articles might be and see if there's board support for at least putting them on the warrant.
Okay. Now, the general public can put one on the 15th too, also, is that correct?
Right, so
Okay.
for a petition warrant article, the deadline, well, the warrant articles are due on the 15th, but for a petition warrant article, there would be a requirement to pick up forms in the clerk's office and get 100 signatures
Mhm.
to be included on the warrant.
Okay. All right, thank you for that clarification. See, again, a warning. Then, so, okay. All right, you have some.
Yeah, I got that high grass issue
Okay,
that I wanted to, I went to the appropriation committee on it.
yes.
And all we're probably gonna need is probably $5,000.
Oh,
For what, well.
Yeah, no, that's not bad.
happened this year, but.
yeah,
so we don't have to wait till the end of the summer to address these.
Okay,
So,
so you're asking for $5,000 to be placed in a fund
yeah.
for that high grass?
Yeah.
So that if it has to be mowed, that we're going ahead and
Yeah.
just doing it instead of having to go through all of
Once
the,
we send out notifications, you know.
okay. All right,
Like this year, we had 12 and we got it down to 1 where we had to do,
okay.
so.
How much did that end up costing, do we know? It's not gonna cost, it costs us initially, but how much, are we gonna be reimbursed for that?
Once we put the lien on the house?
Yeah,
$475.
okay, great,
But
Great.
we still got that, I mean, the people still aren't there, I mean, it's been 3 years, so
yeah.
we're gonna have to mow the lawn, it'll probably be $40, $50 from here on in.
Oh, okay, so it was just 400 just to get it up to par?
Yeah.
And then, okay, all right then. And so you're looking to have that move, so you're looking to set up
Like
a revolving account?
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
and if we don't use it, I guess it goes back to general fund.
General fund, okay. Hopefully we won't have to use it, but you just never know. Selectman Federici, is there anything you'd like to add to that?
Well, I'm probably gonna have an item also for having to do with our new town accountant.
Okay.
But I haven't fashioned it yet, but as far as this.
Okay, wait, this one.
Oh,
His-
no,
his-
no, there's, I'm
I
in
think he-
agreement, yeah.
Okay, in agreement, so.
That's right. I mean, obviously, what we do is, I believe, when the warrants come out, we obviously vote to approve them,
Mhm.
and then we vote separately whether we want to personally, or we personally endorse them.
Okay.
So, we'll
All right.
we'll finalize this when when you
Okay.
got them in, so.
All right. So what's your next one? You have two, I
Yeah,
think
the
Nick
next
said
one I-
you had two.
Yeah, the next one I got for Tom O'Connor, the animal control officer. They're looking to get, instead of $50 a day, $75 a day for a stipend. And it'll be coming out of their funds that they bring in.
If I may through the chair, is that something, did you bring that to appropriations?
What would you say?
Did you bring that one to appropriations also?
No, I'm bringing
Okay.
it here first, yeah.
All right.
But that'd be just a matter of taking out of what he brings in to give to them, you know.
I just don't think it's that simple, but, I'd like to look into that one, a little bit more. I don't know. about
Well, the
stuff
thing is, I don't
yeah.
want to procrastinate it like we do everything. I want to get these things done.
Like we do
Because we
everything.
keep putting them off and putting them off,
Like
and it
we do
never gets done.
everything. I don't know if that's how we do everything, but, there needs to be a little bit, for me, Selectman Federici can
Well, I
speak.
think-
I wouldn't,
Obviously, I would say follow through with it, and then in the meantime, we'll do whatever
the investigation
yeah.
that we need to do. Okay. All right, is there another one?
Well, Corinne Tranghesi's contract, she's been without a contract since June.
I don't think that's correct.
I don't know.
She has a,
Well,
we can't talk about that in
Right.
open, in open
Because
session.
there's no money in there, I guess, so we have to.
That's something we can't talk about in open session,
Right.
but we certainly can, but I don't believe that she's working without a contract. There's other things on that.
And the other one I got is for people over 70. I want to see how you guys feel about freezing their taxes when they hit 70. We got like 3,000-something people. Less the people we got in the assisted living and nursing homes that don't pay taxes, and that will, the 3,000 people will even get less than that, because that's 3,000 people if there's two in one family, so that cuts that down also.
Cuts what down?
Cuts the number of people.
Okay. Guess we could bang out the statistics on that.
Hmm?
I guess we could, you don't have these written up yet?
No.
Okay.
No, because I was bringing them in front of the board first, to see how you guys felt about them.
I think, okay, how has it happened in the past, Nick? Any board member can go ahead and write up the article or the warrant,
Yep.
and then it's brought to us and we ask, he's asking whether or not we support or whatever. for the, and then it goes to the town meeting, in this case, a special town meeting. So does he need our permission to write it up?
I think what Selectman Gorman is really asking of the board this morning is to see whether or not they would at least support this going on to the warrant, these articles going on to the warrant. Not necessarily for support of the articles themselves, because otherwise, if the board's not going to support these ideas and these articles going on to the warrant, then Selectman Gorman's recourse would be as a citizen to go out and seek petition warrant articles, which would automatically go on if they have enough signatures.
But I would think that as a member of the Board of Selectmen, he has a right to put them on without the support. Is that correct or not?
He has the right to put them on, but the board has the right to not include them if a majority of the board feels that the articles should not go on the warrant.
Okay. So you're asking about the idea of it? Because we don't have it to actually look at.
Yes, that's right.
And I really would, in a perfect world, I would really like to see it before I was to put a stamp of approval on it. But I don't see anything that stops him from crafting any of these articles and then certainly looking them. I understand what you're saying, but I would rather see them first. One is a no-brainer. The high grass one, the dog officer, I would like to see. The third one, Corinne, I don't believe that's true, but we certainly can talk about that in executive session only because it has to do with negotiations possibly. The over 70-year-old, I'd like to see more information with regards to how it would affect the general population. I like the idea, but I don't know what the ramifications would be. And not having an accountant right now, we can't really ask somebody. We'll go to Selectman Federici. Those are my thoughts. So.
Well, how about through the clerk?
Yeah, I was going to say that, the assessor's office might know too.
Yeah.
They might be able to give us an idea of how that would in theory affect.
Okay.
Yes, well, I can't do it. It's not my job. But as far as the warrant items,
No, I was just asking you to say.
Rocco was raising his hand, and I almost called on him, but it's not my job to call on him. So, as far as the warrant items themselves, I don't personally have any problem presenting them. So that's, it's, and like I said, what the process is, we present, we vote on whether we want to present them, and then we vote individually on whether we approve of them or not. That's our own personal view. So,
And that's usually done right before the meeting that we have from the special town meeting, right before that?
we sometimes do it the night we approve the warrant items too, I believe.
Okay.
Haven't we done that, Nick? Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay. All right, so is that it for you?
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to be sure. And you said you had one, Tom? Paul?
yeah. Well, I'm gonna have one crafted with the, once we hopefully hammer out a contract with the new town accountant, as we had discussed in executive session last week. It's gonna be a tiny one, but the chairman of appropriations felt I should do it, even though we feel that with the fact that we don't have a town accountant for a month, the money will be in the budget. They want to do it just to make sure.
Okay, got it.
Just to get it out there, so. But that's the only one I've got.
All right, then. Sounds good. All right.
One last
Sure,
last comment. We have to get something interesting in there, or we won't get any people to the town meetings. So.
Oh,
On the high grass issue, when Selectman Gorman came to the appropriations committee,
Yes.
the money was gonna come out of the health account, health department. When the money is recovered by the town, it will go into the general fund, not
Okay.
back into the health.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification.
say
Appreciate
that again, Rocco?
When you came to the appropriations committee meeting, you had informed the committee that the money would come out of the health.
This year.
Right. When the town recovers that money, it will go back into the general fund.
You're right.
Okay?
Yep.
I just want to make that clear.
No.
Yep.
And also, I brought up a point at that same meeting that Hopefully, this is only properties that have homes on them and not open land. The reason I say that, there are several lots in town that are just lots, and they have high grass and shrubs and trees, and to go back after the owners of empty lots would not be fair to them.
It's like the one you were telling me about.
Well, that's part of a home thing. But what I would like to say to you, also, Selectman Gorman, perhaps when you're making the, possibly you could make an amendment to the high grass one that I had brought to the town and have that included, saying that exclusion, included in the, on the warrant. Saying that it's not just, it's not an exclusion, but a clarification of that it would be just ones with homes on it. I think that was the intent, I know that was the intent, because I wrote it, yeah.
I just want to make sure that the clarification
Yeah,
is there.
exactly, and it's gonna need some tweaking, it was the first one, so, yeah, so we'll make sure that there's some tweaking to that, and if you need any help drafting that, I'll certainly help with that little piece of it. Thank you. All right, the next one is, this is just an update, have we gotten the signatures yet for the vehicles? For the animal control? Because that's been on for a little bit.
Yeah, we get the signatures, I think they show Paul that. Those were the only two things in the policy that he feels wouldn't apply to him. I mean, that's like,
Did
we only
they,
have 3 people,
Can
but
I
I
have-
mean.
can I have a copy of that?
Yeah, I think you got one, don't you?
In your packet, it should be.
Yeah, having meetings on Monday is not the best.
Yeah.
We do what we have to do.
See it?
Okay.
The next page.
You got it? Right here.
Okay, no, I see it. But do we have one for Melissa as well? Okay, you're gonna get the one from Melissa also?
From where?
Melissa? Melissa? She
well-
needs, because she'll be driving it also.
Well, that applies to both of them right there.
Not this one.
Yeah, they have to both sign.
They have to both sign. So
All right.
just, Melissa just needs to sign
Yeah.
one. Okay, that's great.
But those 2 articles are just, they're on 24/7. And if they're chasing a dog or there's a cat or dog out in the middle of the street hit, they have to park to protect the dog or the cats.
Well, aren't there lights on the vehicle?
Yeah.
So I think that would help them.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Right?
But other than that, the amendment made to the language, they both accepted,
I don't think we voted to amend the language, though.
You did on the, what date was that, Nick?
I don't recall the date, but the board voted to amend language, not in the numbered list, but in the area, I believe, down in the accidents or fines and violations.
What meeting was that?
I believe what's being proposed is that that this policy would be signed by the animal control officers if items number 1 and number 5 under controls were removed. I
But
believe
number
that-
1 reads, just so that we're being transparent, operate your vehicle on company business and to and from work only. And item 5 is you must conform to all traffic laws, signals, markings, and make proper allowances for adverse weather and traffic conditions. What is wrong with that? That's something that they should be doing anyway. I don't know, that's just me speaking. Is there,
Well, I think what he's trying to say is if he has an incident where he has to stop in a no parking zone, or, like Selectman Gorman said, if there's a dog that's been hit in the middle of the road, and instead of pulling over the side of the road, he has to park, say, in the middle of the road with his lights on to protect the dog until someone comes.
Right.
Those are basically, he's not conforming to all traffic laws then, but he wants to make sure he's not in, he doesn't want to be in violation of of this contract, but still be able to do those things, because he's not, you
Of course he
know.
would, I mean,
Well,
Okay.
I think he's trying to be,
I mean, there-
proactive, okay.
Yeah.
There can't be a dog in the middle of the road, and because he's obeying, you gotta go down a parking lot 40 feet away.
Yeah.
No,
And they
I
carry
would,
the dog down to the car, you gotta stop where the dog is hit and protect the dog and be able to throw it in the trunk or throw it in the car, whatever you
Mhm.
gotta do,
okay,
depending on what happens.
and place it in the trunk, not
Place
throw it in the trunk.
okay, and so, it's supposed to be company time for those cars. What is the problem with that? Those
Because
cars
you-
are supposed to be used for business, to and from work, not for,
Well, where they're always on call, 24/7.
one person has the car when they're on shift, then the next person has the car when they're on shift. It's for business use.
Yeah.
Well, I
It's
think,
not for personal use. Somebody explain that to
if I
me.
may through the chair, I think he's
Yes.
talking about bringing it home, because they're on call 24/7. I thought, I may be mistaken.
But I
and
thought they-
Nick may be able to correct me on this, but I thought we had discussed the fact that you're really no more than 5 or 10 minutes away from the car any
Right.
place in town. So I thought we had discussed the fact that we were gonna leave the car in the police office lot.
Right,
And then if there was an emergency, it would only be another 5 or 10 minutes to get the car and go. But that's just, that's
Exactly.
my recollection. I don't know if that's true
and
or
that,
not.
and that's mine as well.
So,
It's at the police station.
But he's different than the IT director
Okay,
and
the
anybody
car's not
else.
just
They,
for work.
they all bring their cars home. This
And-
guy is on 24/7, so if there's a dog hit by his house, he gotta go into the police station, get his car and come all the way back. I mean, it don't even make sense.
The vehicle is supposed to be used for business use only.
Yeah. And he's on 24/7 call. It's just
He's
like-
not on 24/7. Melissa, when he's not on, Melissa covers for him. And he does
2
a
days a
great
week.
job.
He's on 5, she's on 2.
But if there's a call at night, he has to handle it.
Which he got called that night there, and they had to bring out,
Mhm.
there were like 3 cruisers out there.
Mhm.
They tied up all our policemen.
It tied up all of our policemen?
Well, the cops had to come out there because they had a dog,
I don't think it was all of our
Well,
policemen,
not-
though, really.
the couple cruisers were there. You know what I mean,
Yeah.
Ann, so don't make a big deal.
No,
of
I'm
it.
just,
You know what I'm
well,
saying.
I think this is a bit much. I understand, I think it's understood that when he has to stop in the middle of the road, that's certainly understandable, and stuff does happen. But the vehicle is for company business only, so, and yes, he is on call, but the police, to go up to the police station isn't that far. And it seems that the police station is situated quite central to our town. So I don't think it takes that long to go up there to get it. I just,
Well, on that statement you just made, I believe that we should take all the cars that we're responsible for.
I would agree with you.
And they all should go back to the police station, and I think
or
every
someplace
employee
central.
should go to the police station and get it.
Mm-hmm.
Because this guy is more critical than like an IT director who just goes to the schools.
Okay, I would agree with you.
Than this guy here who's on 24-hour call. And if something gets hit down the end of town,
Mhm.
you know, he gotta go to the police station, get the thing. By that time, then if the animal's in the middle of the road, he could get run over again, you know, by the time he gets there.
So like
Through
a
the chair,
better-
where does, and I don't need an address, but what town does Melissa live in?
I don't know.
Okay. I was just wondering, because she might have more of a trip
Yeah.
when she's on the week. I was just wondering.
Okay, what I will do, I'm willing to concede on number 5 and take number 1 under advisement. Because,
Can I make one comment on that, please?
reluctantly, yes.
The IT director's contract,
Mhm.
all right, says that he has a car.
No, I
We're not saying
understand, I
that.
understand that, but
We know that.
we're looking at in the future, we will be looking at all of the cars that are
I understand.
out there.
I just-
So, yeah.
I thought he wanted to take away the IT
No.
car.
No, that's not,
But it's part of his contract.
yeah,
That's why I-
we understand that. What I'm agreeing to is that perhaps there is a central place where cars that are being used for business should be used for business only.
Oh, I agree.
And that they should be parked somewhere, not to be taken home. They should be parked, we don't know where yet, but he was making the suggestion that it be at the police station because it is central, because I had said that the animal control officer's car could be placed there centrally. So, we're not trying to change, we will look at that as a board. No one person makes the decisions to change anything or to add anything, or even to hire anyone. We do that as a board. But, Billy, on number 5, I think that was a no-brainer, but it's okay. I understand he's being very careful, and I get that piece. So number 5, I'll entertain a motion for the number 5 to be well, we don't have to change it. It's an understanding, so. I'll entertain an understanding that if, with regards to number 5 and the policy for the use of town-owned vehicles, but see, that's, scratch, because here's the thing, this policy, the policy for use of town-owned vehicles is for everyone. It's not just for all of our town vehicles, it's not just for ACO. So where the ACO, I can't amend the entire policy for the ACO because the ACO has special conditions
Right,
that would be met, that wouldn't be appropriate for
the other two.
the other two.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's understood, we have an understanding that with regards to this policy, the ACOs sometimes would not be in adherence to the driving laws if they have to stop in the middle of the street and take care of it. That's an understanding. So I'll entertain that motion, that we have an understanding with regards to that.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further conversation?
Just the fact that, I think that would go along with, say, a DPW vehicle or a police vehicle where they're under the same guidelines, but if they have to stop, a DPW vehicle has to be in the middle of the road with the lights flashing, then it's allowable, so.
With
it'd be the
lights
same-
flashing.
It would be the same thing here, so.
Yeah, okay.
As long as we all understand that there are gonna be
Absolutely.
circumstances where
Yeah.
they have to not conform to all traffic laws.
And
so.
this is not to penalize our people who have vehicles. It's just to add some conformity. Actually, this policy actually was accepted back in, we thought that I was told that it did not exist, so it was created. But there is one that was found later from 1996, where this was put into place. So it's not something new. It's something that we've found that wasn't being followed. So we do have an understanding. Number 1, I'm going to leave that the way it is because, again, we were talking about the business. And so we are all set. We just need to get Melissa to sign off on hers, and we can get that car moving,
Get the bees out of it.
get the bees out of it. So who
It's
would,
all set.
it's all
Is it?
set?
It's all set.
Fantastic.
Ready
It's
to
been
go.
DB'd?
We brought it back for the recall and everything.
All right.
Okay, great.
There was a recall on it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay,
But we
great.
had to get it up there because the recall was gonna end, so.
Yeah.
So that's all taken care
Well,
of.
that's good.
Okay, great. So they'll start, so as soon as Melissa signs off, she can start driving it, he can drive it now, with the understanding that number 1 is still as it is, number 5, we understand.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
Fantastic.
Do you have that?
I'll give that back to you. All right. That was supposed to be, do you have an update on
Colin
Colin
Drive,
Drive? Yeah.
I was just out there this morning, all the paving's done, where they dug in front of that lady's house.
Okay,
They put the berm back, they put plants in there.
great.
They got an excavator there doing a hill as we speak.
Okay,
They haven't got to her side yet, but they got the other side fairly done and in
Okay.
the back.
it's looking good, better, much
Yes,
better?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Do you have any questions
No.
on that? Okay, this is just an update. The Comcast Form 394 application, just so that you know where we're going with regard to this. On 9/16, we will have our final discussion as a board, so if anybody has anything that they want to add, contact one of your board members or the clerk. 525-5400, extension 1100. And then we'll vote up or down on 9:30. So we should be prepared for that. In agreement? Okay, moving on. Any update on the negotiations,
We're still,
sir?
we've got a tentative contract that we're getting to her, and we'll
Okay.
fill you in on the 16th.
There's, with regards to the clerk's office, there's been no update, so that will be on our next agenda. Police candidate update. There has been nothing from me. I haven't heard from civil service. Have you?
No.
Okay, so we're still waiting to hear from civil service, okay? Mr. Gorman? Selectman
Yeah.
Gorman? Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Any communications? Okay, hearing none. And this is something that I had added on. Are there any liaison updates from any of your departments that you're liaison for? There was just one correction. Paul, I seem to remember that you were appointed to another, because I was looking over the list. I seem to remember that you were appointed to something else also, and it's not on here.
I'm not sure.
Okay, so if you remember that,
Mhm.
let me know. The other thing is that it has been updated with regards to the East Long Meadow Community Access. That kind of goes with the cable advisory, so I have those. And Mr. Gorman had agreed to that earlier. There was with regards to the casinos, that's not on here. And it looks a liaison for the casino. I had done it in the past, but if there's somebody who would like to step in and take it over, that's fine.
I'll be happy to if you want
Okay.
to. All right.
All right, you okay with
Yeah.
that? Okay, so,
I thought that was done all over.
no, not at all.
Never.
Not at all. What needs to and certainly I'll give you the paperwork that I have.
Okay.
What needs to be done is, we're in the midst of planning the community, what the community impact's gonna be, to make sure that we get the funds back from the state or the casino. Also, we're not sure what's gonna happen with the vote in November, but if the vote fails, then the casino would go on, and we need to make sure that we're getting our funds back into the town,
Yeah.
just in case we're infected by traffic
Right,
and
yeah.
influx of people, our police and everything, so that's an
But
ongoing
we got a
thing.
set fee that we're getting, right?
Right.
We have a set fee, yes, but also we also said, made the agreement that if there were any other expenses that exceeded that fee, that we could apply for those and get those back too. But we just have to prove it and make sure
Right.
that all of our documentation is in order.
Yeah, we have our 1 year and our 5 year. look back,
Exactly,
so.
exactly. All right, so, if you could
Mhm.
put that on. And if you don't mind, I'll shadow you,
No problem.
just to, but I know you do. Fantastic. Okay, that was that. All right, Board of Health. Want to take that? Or I can help you? Any way you want to do it?
Yeah, for the Board of Health, I went to a meeting for mosquito control
Oh, yeah.
with
Still on updates, okay.
Roy Esposito,
Yes.
but we both agreed that we don't think it's for East Long Meadow. what they wanna do, it's like a big government.
Okay,
They wanna like control everything. With what East Long Meadow got, we think we're better off than all the other towns.
Okay.
With what we're doing.
all right.
And a lot of towns that were there weren't too keen in getting in this, but it's just a beginning thing where they wanna set up a committee and, have meetings, and
Okay.
it's not even really established yet. They were seeing how everybody felt about it.
Okay, so if they,
And our opinion was that we thought we were doing a wicked good job compared to most
Okay.
communities,
yeah,
Well,
So-
we figured we'd go there and there'd be a bunch of communities, maybe less than the cost
yeah,
for everybody.
Right.
But if anything, it's gonna definitely increase the cost.
okay, then we're not looking for any increased
No,
cost.
because what we do is, we're doing everything that they wanna do.
Okay,
Oh.
because I think our community is up on most of the stuff than other communities have been, because I found that out last year. So, are you, do we have to commit to be involved into the meetings, or it's,
No, we don't have to commit to it.
Okay.
But,
all right, it doesn't look good?
no, it doesn't look good.
Okay.
But I definitely go to the next meeting and see if
Okay.
where they progressed,
Okay,
It's
yeah,
if it's anything that can help us,
yeah.
but right now, it's definitely not helping East
I
Long Meadow.
would certainly keep our eye on that. Going back also, the Veterans Liaison, that, I don't know if we added that on there. Yep, it's on there. I wanted to talk to you guys about the veterans, just to put a bug in your ear. As you know, we're paying quite a bit for the services when, in comparison to the other towns. And the question that I have to you is, would you be opposed to us asking for some concrete hours, like maybe an hour a week or a couple hours a month, at our senior center? Because what happens now is it's on an on-call basis, and so if you don't call, you don't get the services. So my feeling is perhaps some people, you know how sometimes if people see you, they'll say, oh yeah, I want it. So if they had set hours, I was just thinking, just maybe a couple hours, nothing to add any strain to it. But I think that would be good for our town.
I agree with you, because I've had a couple guys come up to me and say, they call the veteran guy Munson, but,
Yeah,
he didn't call him back and they can't get him. I don't know what his hours are there, but
okay.
so
So
I think it would be good to have something here where they know they're a certain 2 hours or hour, whatever, and they could come there and
okay.
ask some questions.
So I'm asking for your support with that, because I would have to go to their board and ask them for that, but I didn't want to make that move without your
Mhm.
blessing, so to say.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion for me to go to the Veterans Board, Veterans District, what's the complete name of that, Nick? The-
Eastern Hampden County Veteran Service District.
Okay,
So
to
moved.
go to their board and ask for some sort of a structured hour and time that the person would be on site at our senior center. And there's an office already set up, so it's not gonna cause anybody to go out.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any further discussion?
Just quickly, that obviously back in the day when we had George Herrick, he was part-time, but he was local, so he did have set hours, and I know the veterans got used to it.
Mhm.
And then when we got the new gentleman, although I think he's doing a very good job,
Yeah.
the hours being flexible like that, it's a little
Mhm.
tougher, like, as you said, for
Yeah.
people to be able to plan on meeting him at
Yeah.
if they have a specific
Yeah.
time. So I think it'd be great to have a specific time for him
Yeah.
to be there, so people know that he's there and they can set up an appointment.
Exactly, exactly. Okay, so is that it for our updates? Anything else?
The senior center,
Yes.
we interviewed 9 people, 2 didn't
Okay.
show. And Carol Brennan will be putting something out
Okay.
to the board
No, which was this?
for the, we got the buses there. the
Oh,
mini
okay.
buses there
Yeah.
All right.
for dispatcher.
Dispatcher. Yeah.
Yep, yep. So 9 people and what,
Two or no shows,
and what was next? So is she gonna narrow it down to?
Yeah.
The finals? Now, are they going to come before us for
Yes.
us to make that decision? And how many will we be receiving? Because normally how many do we want to see?
We gotta narrow down to 3.
Okay,
You want to see 3?
yeah, that's fine.
because-
Okay, so we'll see the 3 then.
Unless you want more.
No, that, I
Took
think
us
that's.
all day.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
What date do we want to have those interviews on? Because I think we need to provide them with a date.
Mm.
What's the next meeting?
Next meeting's, it's again.
Would they be ready for the 16th, or is
Yeah.
that enough notice?
no, that'll be good.
All right, so on the 16th, have the interviews?
Okay.
Now, did we want to have some sort of,
Question?
well, questions? Definitely need questions. And do we want to have a Rubik's Cube? A rubric?
Have a what?
A rubric? Where you score,
Yeah.
and that way it's the numbers that are talking and not or you can just use how you feel.
We went 1 through 5, 5 being the best.
Okay,
That's how we did it.
okay, so how many questions? 2 apiece?
We had, I believe we had 9.
I know,
9 or
but
10.
that was y'all. You had
How many
plenty of
how many
time.
were you on how many asked questions? How many interviewers?
2 of us, me and Carol Brennan.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of how many questions you can ask about a dispatcher. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, I
Like-
mean,
Just 2
Yeah.
apiece?
yeah, that's fine.
I mean, I think that would be more than enough, 2 apiece.
Not that it's not an important job, but I'm just.
No,
thinking
it's important.
It's a limited, you
Yeah.
know,
Okay, so, all right, I'll try to make up, so that's 6 questions and a rubric. And 1 being you said 1 being the highest is how you used, or 5 being the highest?
We use high being the 5, 5 being the
okay.
highest.
And 1 being the lowest, okay. All right. And then, so, any other updates? Because, are we good?
I don't know where we're with LaRocca on the interview.
We're still waiting for, opinion of our council's opinion.
The
with regards-
council's opinion?
Yeah. And if we want to talk further about that, that needs to be an executive. It should be coming rather quickly.
And the town clerk's position? Is that on?
I don't have anything new on that, and we'll put that on the next meeting.
All right.
You missed me when I said that, didn't you? I said it. I really did. Okay, so I'm gonna try to put that on there, so, for the liaison updates, so that it's a point, so that we know that if there's any updates, that we can just do it then.
mhm.
Okay, so that way we'll all be on the same page.
The other thing we got here too, we got the application for.
Well, I'm going there.
Oh, okay.
I'm going there next. Okay, the Board of Health, go ahead.
The application for approval by the health agent pending service safe certificate for a temporary food establishment permit.
Okay, that's for Jeffrey Hindy at 73 Meadows Road, East Long Meadow,
Yeah.
baking bread for the Council of Aging market and from September to October.
Yeah.
So you'll be entertaining a motion for that?
Yes.
So moved.
It's moved, and I'll second it. Any discussion? Any discussion?
Any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? None opposed? Motion passed.
Okay. All right, the next thing is, if you could take us home, Paul?
Sure. There's a shared public health nurse steering committee meeting Tuesday, September 9th, 2014, at 10 a.m. at the Pioneer Valley Planning Commission.
With that, we have completed our agenda. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion adjourned. Meeting adjourned.